One. All right, welcome everyone to the third virtual episode of the Whale Lounge Mobtown Rarities. In-house today, we got Taphouse, actually. Our good friends from Mobtown Brewing. Far right over here, or your far left, Dave's in the middle. He is our brewer for this evening. John, welcome. How are you guys?
Very well. How are you guys?
I'm doing really well. Also in-house is our fellow bartender here from Max's, Jason Shear.
Glad to be here.
All right, good. I hope everybody's staying dry. We got 6 great beers, and we're gonna taste a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna talk to our friends from Mobtown. So if you're following along, first row, Garden Path is gonna be our first one. Curious Mix and Methods, American Wild Ale. Give it a taste if you have it in front of you. If not, then you can just sit back and relax, wait for the next one.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers, buddy.
So give me the first, a brief Mobtown Brewing 101. How did you guys get started? What is the choice on going back and bringing beer back essentially to brewers?
So I was a home brewer for like 15 years, and was an engineer by day and a home brewer by weekend or whatever. And so,
Right.
yeah, so, well, typical home brewer. So I don't know. My dad passed away, and I kind of had an early midlife crisis, and decided I wanted to do something that would maybe a little more meaningful to me. And so, I applied for and enrolled in the UC Davis Master Brewers program, and moved my family out to California for 6 months and did the program, and then came back here. And the whole time I was kind of working on finding space, and I have a couple partners that got into it with me, and we set up. I live really close to here in Canton, so I wanted to find something. I knew the Canton, like Southeast Baltimore, really needed a brewery. We don't really have anything that close, so I decided I wanted to do something close to my house to make the commute easier for me also. And Brewers Hill was just so aptly named. It seemed like the perfect place, and we got a really good space, so that's where we went with it. Yeah.
Trevor, where did you guys, I've known you for a long time, I know exactly where you came from. Where did you play in on this whole love of beer and wanting to help Mobtown out?
So I moved up here maybe 4 or 5 years ago from Norfolk, Virginia, and got a job at Lavender Grat, which is Stillwater Artisanal's bar over in Canton, kind of on the line of Canton Brewers Hill. So worked there for 3-ish years bartending, and kind of got more into the cocktail thing. Was getting further away from the beer thing, and was kind of missing it. And I live up in Highlandtown, just a little further north from the brewery, from Canton area. And every day for like a year probably, I was driving to and from around that area, and I was seeing them build this brewery out. And there was like a big banner up that was like coming soon, Mobtown Brewing. And then I saw like some stuff on the internet about they were opening up soon, and the story of it's a local home brewer opening a brewery. And I said to my friends, I've heard this one before. It's probably gonna suck. And just through the grapevine, through some various friends in the industry and stuff, I got hooked up with these guys and heard they were looking for Taproom Manager, which is kind of what I was more or less looking to do, and kind of get on the ground floor and help build something up like this. And thankfully it was a good fit, and thankfully Dave makes very good beer for the most part. No, and it's been a really fun experience ever since.
And he's been invaluable to us because none of us have really worked in the industry before, so just having his experience, on the bar side of it
It's great, man. I was there with my wife yesterday for a quick neighborhood beer, and the place is spotless. You guys are taking advantage.
Moved away, and Gunther went out of business, and so that style that's high.
So walk me through. You guys were here. You opened last year. Sorry.
Yeah.
Last year back in
In the very end of April.
very end of April,
2019.
March or so. But a pretty normal first year. You're about to celebrate your first anniversary, and then we all know what happened around mid March or so. How did you guys react? How were you kind of treading water or exceeding that whole?
So it was obviously like nobody wants what happened to have happened, but I guess you could say it happened to us at the all right time, because we kind of really in those first few months of 2019 were hitting our stride as like both a brewery and as like a tap room, a bar, so to speak, like having more consistent business and like regulars and being kind of a staple in the neighborhood and the area. And then that was right before everything shut down, so that sucked obviously. But we at least had a decent customer base where we could do to-go sales, 5 days a week, just kind of out of our loading dock with like online sales, just like a lot of people were doing. And that more or less kept us afloat until we were able to open up again.
Yeah, our business plan was that we wanted to be a local neighborhood brewery with minimal distribution and really do most of our sales from our own tap room. Out of the tap room, they would have to come to us and really kind of and just do small batches of things and just kind of brew whatever you want. When everything got shut down, we essentially had to turn 180 degrees and go a complete opposite direction, and we just started canning everything. And because restaurants were closed, so we weren't canning. So
how to use the internet for online sales?
yes, so we had a canning run scheduled already, and we were gonna keg most of it, and then can maybe 15 barrels of it or something of 3 different beers, and then we were like, no, instead of that, we're gonna can 50 barrels and try to get it out. And we had just signed up with a company called the Craft Coalition that kind of acts as sales reps for us and free state beer delivery that then delivers the beer for us. And so they've grown, we've also grown, and so we've just kind of been working with them and just getting beer out in the liquor stores and
having a presence
yeah.
in the pavement, essentially kind of old school.
Exactly, yeah.
Just kind of selling to a distributor, waiting for them to decide what they like to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing against distributor friends, but
Oh, not at all. But it's for what we were doing and the size we are, we were lucky to get this relationship with the Craft Coalition as we did, because they don't like the difference between them and the regular distributors. We kind of can make our own calls and not be told, hey, make a bunch of this, hey, make a bunch of that. We're kind of like, here's what we have, sell it, and they do, and they're great folks. But we never thought we'd be in liquor stores literally all over the state of Maryland in a year, but here we are.
Actually, do get a little bit of bourbon on the bottom of this. I was reading the description here, but
You notice it more as it warms up.
yeah. More warms up, a little bit more buttery at the end.
Is this recent or like an older bottle?
This is, I believe, 3 years ago. Was
Okay.
The 16th. So yeah,
Oh yeah, Brett's kind of taken over a little bit.
definitely favorable for bottle aging. Trying a couple years later. But,
Yeah, you think you'd get more color than
I thought
there
it was
is.
going to work, and it was going to be like a bright red, like
Right.
or something like that. But
It's delicious though.
all right, number 4. Blackberry Farm. This is the one. This is the color I was expecting from. Yeah, little bit of tartness, but it's still kind of numbs out at the end. I thought it would be a lot more sour, but
It's a lot more gentle than a lot of flavors I've had, which can kind of trend towards like nail polish remover territory if you're not careful. But like that's really pleasant, and like I would say for the style, it's pretty subtle actually.
right.
Yeah, it's definitely subtle.
And it definitely just kind of nods off right at the end. So
Yeah, this is the kind of thing I would like probably take a few sips and then let it sit and kind of do its thing for like 20, 30 minutes.
I was reading the other day there was I believe 2,200 different iterations
I wanted to be involved somehow, and this seemed like a great cause that kind of really fit into something that we really wanted to do, and a good way that we could support it. And so we kept the base recipe, but then we teamed up with a local company that roasts coffee. It's a black-owned business, and Black Acres Roastery. They're right in Highlandtown, just a few blocks from the brewery. And we've done a couple different projects with them, and we thought this would be a great thing to bring them in on and get them involved. And so, so we fermented ours and then added Black Acres Roastery coffee to it. And it turned out really good, much better than I expected, and I've used a lot of coffee.
It was a pretty absurd amount of coffee.
You get the bitterness and tannic notes, so you're just like, oh man, it kind of just dries out.
Oh yeah.
Because it's such like dark.
I mean, just the recipe itself was a great recipe. I mean, Weathered Soul's really, it was just, straight imperial stout, but it just turned out really good. But I think with the coffee, it just, it just kind of gave it that extra little kick.
Well, we were a little worried because it was such a cool project to be a part of, and if you look at any data or statistics out there, like the brewing industry is pretty heavily whitewashed, and we wanted to at least in our own little way participate in changing that and stuff. But we were a little worried because it's a 10% imperial stout. We wanted to stay true to the base recipe, but it was going to be ready in the middle of July or early July in Maryland. Exactly, cold outside. So we wanted to add our own little spin to it, and thankfully Travis from Black Acres was game to donate 30 pounds of coffee, which we ground up fresh and put in big bags and just steeped it in there for probably like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we specifically we were like, wow, it's a 10% imperial stout. It's July. So we did a small batch, and we sold out of it like immediately.
It was probably the fastest we've ever sold out.
We had no idea it was going to go like that. Now we're like kicking ourselves like we should have done a 30-barrel batch of it.
They've been selling very well.
We don't even have any left for
It's gone at the brewery, so.
That's awesome. All right, so move on to the fourth now. Cascade Brewing, actually one of my favorite breweries on the West Coast. Honestly, like they're
Absolutely.
masters of like barrel aged sours and funky wild ales and that kind of thing. This is a collaboration they did with Burial. If those aren't familiar with Asheville, North Carolina, I had a friend of mine from Full Tilt, and his bachelor party, we were asking, where do you want to go? He's like, Asheville, North Carolina. It sounded like the most just obscure thing that you would say that you're going to. And I'm like, all right, so we'll drive 5 hours down there, and we get down, and it is some of the most delicious handcrafted beer you'll ever have. Burial's definitely stuck out, not only as the Tom Selleck and Slaw capital of the world, but also a very tasty brewery. So this is the collaboration they're doing. American Sour, and French oak barrels, and I look up what sumac was basically.
I love sumac. It's a weird
behind the bar, and there's a booth that's like across from the door to the walk-in, and so we're just sitting here drinking 8.4% sour beers in 104 degree weather and just sweating, and every time they would go to the walk-in, they would open that door and it's like, it's like, it felt so good.
Think about, honestly, the first 4 beers don't taste like they're 8.5%, 7%.
6 point, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about, like, the deceiving part about sours is, like, it's just, there's so much, like, story behind it that, like, it's either, aged with bread or in a wine barrel, gives you a little bit of that booziness, but, like, the tannic, like, tartness just kind of just scrubs the palate, and, like, you're ready to start all over again. So super sippable, for sure. All right, we're done with the sours, I promise. Before our belly starts to hurt, we're done with the sours. Moving on to brand new brewery to Maryland anyway, Charlestown Fermentory. This is their flagship Sungazer. It's a New England style IPA. They are making their first appearance here in Maryland and the surrounding DMV area. Okay. And I hate to keep saying the word crushable, but like this is like a poolside brew right here. Oh, yeah. I'm very excited about this one.
It is.
Oh wow!
What's the term? Dank. The aroma of this is just. It's like pine. Oh man,
that's really good. Where are these guys out of?
Charlestown, South Carolina.
Okay, South Carolina.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Oh man, that is
Jesus.
Yeah, that's really
again almost 7%, and you wouldn't ever know it.
No.
Dangerous, man. Dangerous. Walk me through to the end of the year. What's going on with Mobtown? What do we have in the works? Are we going to celebrate a birthday at some point for you guys?
So we
new normal.
we had our first anniversary. We were planning on having like a big event and a block party and blah 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 and special beers. Obviously, none of that ever happened.
Yeah, we had collaborations lined up and it just all kind of.
So we on our actual first anniversary back in April, when again everything was completely shut down, we had a Zoom hangout with all of our staff and had some beers, and I think somebody had a cake. And that was about it. But
it was
close the blinds, order a couple pizzas, and
it was nice.
Hey, great job, guys.
It was a good time.
We played.
That's amazing.
We played some online games.
Yeah, but as far as the rest of this year going into 2021 and the great unknown for our industry goes, we're working on figuring out how much beer to produce, but B, like putting kegs versus cans and bottles, because
what stays at home base, what goes out
exactly, like how many bars are kind of going to be open, how much product they're going to move through. It's there's a lot of unknowns.
We're just kind of like the darts and the dartboard. We're kind of trying to figure out, where do we do 30% in kegs and the rest can, or do we do 20?
How much foot traffic do you actually have?
And, how much are we going to sell from here? So far, we've been underestimating how much we actually need for our brewery, and we're running out of kegs before we run out of cans, and so.
So if you come
which is good. So
if you come to the brewery
out and drinking actual full kegs or full pints of beer instead of buying 4-packs and maybe just
exactly.
It sits in the fridge.
Once we were able to reopen again, we kind of moved to obviously a slightly different business model, as everyone had to. We were doing plastic pints and pitchers of beer. We did this fun kind of summer mug club thing where you could buy like these old school plastic 22-ounce colorful mugs with our logo, and that was yours to exactly. That was like yours to keep, and then you get discounted pitchers for the rest of the. I said summer, but probably realistically the rest of COVID.
So
and just to kind of cut down on waste, but also we're not passing dirty glasses back and forth.
Cool.
But so because of that, half of our draft list right now, if you come to the brewery, you're just getting a can, which is I don't have a problem with. Some people can versus draft, whatever, but it's the same beer. Like we're all there. We put it in there ourselves. I promise it's the same beer.
Right.
But we're kind of working right now on figuring out how many older returning beers to make that people love versus new stuff, and experimenting. We're definitely getting our barrel aging program further underway with some more barrel aged stouts, and we have some barrel aged sours kind of in the works. Not quite sure when that stuff's gonna start to hit the streets, but hopefully over the winter months when you want something barrel aged and strong.
Sure.
So we'll just have to see.
Our walk-in is full of cans that we're trying to get rid of, and we are we have a big 20-barrel fooder that we're dying to have some time to fill.
That'd
So
be fun.
we are-
That'd be fun. Yeah.
It's coming, and we're working on, like getting some like a good sour program started, and just doing some experimentation stuff and some really cool projects in the works. So,
but in the meantime, always some hazy IPAs, always
Kettle
sours,
sours.
always.
Kettle sours, the real quick ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Try to keep a couple lagers around for people, brewers and industry folks like us that are tired of IPAs.
Football season's coming. You can't be crushing these 8% small batch American sours.
It's going to last very long.
You have a bellyache. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to the next one, guys. I wanted to say this one for the end. Walk me through this beer, Dave.
To the best we can.
Walk me through, yeah.
So this beer was a product of my love for the band Ween.
Which you don't see.
Which I had never even heard of.
Oh, yeah. It's a generational thing, because I was like,
it is.
Man, Ween, nobody said Ween in like 10 years.
So they have this ridiculous album called Pure Guava, and there's a song on it called Don't Get Too Close, and then in parentheses, To My Fantasy. And so I wanted to do it. We were working on kind of like different IPAs, and I was like, we could do a milkshake, but let's add some fruit to it, and we'll do guava. And then it was like, Pure Guava. And so, but I didn't want to just call it Pure Guava. Right. So I had to delve deeper into the lyrics.
Right.
And so one of the lyrics in the song is called, don't be afraid to clutch the hand of your creator. And so we decided to go with Hand of Your Creator for the name of the beer. Should look the album up. It's amazing. You will be disturbed.
You're such a good man, too. Like,
You will be disturbed.
nobody knows. It's like a hidden gem. Not Weezer, Ween.
Ween.
Before Weezer, there was Ween. I'm telling you. Everybody gets it mixed up.
I wouldn't say it's PC anymore.
Right.
No, it's definitely not PC. It was old, a different time back then.
The day of the chain wallets and the Jenko jeans.
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
All sorts of.
Do you remember what year it was that this came out?
This was like 92 or something.
Do you want to feel old? I was 3.
Yeah.
92?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. I was 2.
I was in junior high.
Yeah.
I was in high school. I was just starting high school.
I was just getting in the Ween.
But yeah, we've done a lot of not a lot, but we've done a fair amount of milkshake IPAs, and it's I've seen every different fruit you can possibly throw into them, but guava's definitely got a special place in my heart, just because I think it's a underrepresented fruit as far as fruits go in general, but especially in beer. It's got like a kind of like a funk to it, almost like an earthiness.
Yeah.
It's not overly sweet, but you wouldn't just like go out and get a guava and eat it like you would an orange or something.
Yeah, and this we use the Simcoe hops. I think add a little bit of like the pine earthiness,
flower,
kind of like a
floral,
floral, and like it kind of complements the guava, and then Citra, right? It's they're all the typical.
But
Ella's a little different, but that's one that is a little bit different. It's a little more floral. New Zealand hop. Or Australian, right?
But we always try like in even like our hippest, like most modern IPAs, we still want to have somewhat of a bitter backbone, because it is still an IPA. Like,
sure, yeah.
It's not like a no
approachable,
oil, no,
but introductory.
Yeah, like there's still.
I mean, like it's a great. You can tell there's obviously hops in there, but like the creamy mouthfeel from obviously like I would assume lactose and a little bit of
So lactose has got vanilla, and then we change.
Take that bitterness and just kind of put some
sharp,
butter over top of it.
soft hop.
So
it's there, but it's not sharp, it's not punching in your face.
Exactly. But it's not just like a sweet bomb.
Right.
Which I've had a lot of hazy IPAs that are delicious, but after like half a beer, you're like, wow, this is just sugar.
It kind of tastes like vanilla. Ice.
Bitters.
Don't get the bitters.
Yeah.
It tastes like vanilla, like milkshake. IPA, and that's basically like melted ice cream, basically. Hops and added to it.
It is funny because like I don't think the BJCP, the beer judge certification program, considers it a real style yet, but like milkshake IPA is very much a thing invented by Tired Hands and Omnipolo, which are great breweries, but it's basically a real category at this point. but we still we'll get reviews on Untapped and stuff that say like, oh, I thought this was gonna taste like a milkshake.
I don't
know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, technically, this is when you wear glasses and you'll go exclude. So we have to address when you walk into this sprawling tap room, which I really love. I turn a left out my front door and 1 mile, almost exactly a 1 mile walk down on the left hand side as you guys, and then I walk in. The first thing I see is the tap room password for your Wi-Fi. Could you share that story with us?
Actually, my two partners, Noah and Darren, and I actually had a planning meeting here at Max's. So we all met here. We were drinking beers and just kind of talking about, what the future was, working on the business plan, kind of reviewing it, and we're like sitting at the bar, and we had to use the Wi-Fi, and so we looked up, and the Wi-Fi password for Max's Tap Room is, I think it's like Mobtown 1 or something like that. Yeah, Mobtown 1. And Noah was like, they stole our Wi-Fi password. So
this is years before this.
So when we we're like, all right, we need like public Wi-Fi for people that come into the brewery, and we're like, it's got to be Max's Taphouse. So we made our Wi-Fi password Max's Taphouse.
I'm sitting the first time I went in there, I'm sitting dead center in the middle. I'm like,
you didn't know that?
I was like, so now
hilarious.
I took a picture. I'm sitting dead center the first time I went, and I'm like, what is the Wi-Fi? And there's like chalkboards and stuff, and I look up and it says, I'm like, Max's Taphouse.
Jason, the look on your face.
It's funny because now people come in and they're like, so are you guys owned by Max?
All the time.
We don't want that.
No.
About the brewery, I'm like, Mobtown, that's a new brewery. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
So, I assume the reason that your Wi-Fi password is Mobtown, so we're sitting upstairs in what is known as the Mobtown Lounge at Max's, which it has been probably since before I was born.
For
a while. This bar's been here for a very long time. And I knew this was the Mobtown Lounge before the brewery
this
was ever
the smoking
conceived.
lounge. You come up here with cigars back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All the chairs are like lounge chairs.
And there's like 10 people watching, and they're all from Baltimore.
Yeah.
So they probably already know what Mobtown is like. It's like
When I was younger,
a classic nickname for Baltimore. And so that's why we chose the name for the brewery, because it was kind of throwback to Baltimore's past and the history in the brewing industry, and then just sort of an air of a kind of rebelliousness. And I remember working with like designers and things like that.
Sure.
When we were getting started, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll do this mural of like Al Capone." And I'm like, "No, it's not that kind of mob. it's like torches and pitchforks kind of mob.
Yeah.
It's like it's like tarring and feathering
I
people."
still remember the first time I seen
burning witches.
the brewery coming up, and I went, that's our password. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so for the rest of the time, I'm going to be telling people why our password is Max's
Definitely,
Yes.
I mean, when we were like open normally, like at least 2-3 times a week, like someone was asking, "Hey, what's your Wi-Fi password?"
Right.
Because there's Mobtown.
Yeah, and that's all. It's a dad joke.
Pull out
So,
the card.
So we will always have that relationship with each other.
I like it.
Last question as we finish up the kind of remnants of what's going on with our tastings, and then kind of sipping in between. We're sipping on a First Kick dry hopped American Pilsner available at Mobtown. Very delicious, just reset of like the senses, and just kind of
Palate cleanser, right?
yeah, just be able to kind of just start from ground zero and then kind of reattack, or start here and then move on to something a little bit more aggressive, like a Cascade, or, something like that, 8.5%. Walk me through a day off. I know you guys work hard, and you probably do play hard, even if it may be still at Mobtown or close in the neighborhood. But what's in your fridge? What do you like to? Where do you like to go? Do you seek out like good beer, or are you a Miller Lite can guy like myself as well? Which I am. I mean, like I think everybody should have like a domestic, standby,
Absolutely.
ice cold brew on tap.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
So
I grew up on Bud. My dad has a 30-pack in his trunk right
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
So I'll go first. My days off are not few and far between, but they change regularly. So if I can get out and like camp or something, if the weather's nice, I will, and just take probably some Mobtown beer with me, quite honestly, and a bottle of bourbon or something. But more often I'm at home and getting the stuff done that I haven't had time to do the rest of the week. But when I do have time to go play, I'll usually, I might like actually have a few beers at work and bug my bartenders, which is always fun.
Right.
And
Make sure they're up to specs and such.
No, I just like to annoy them. And in the before,
it is a fun thing to do.
We have a great team, and we love them all very much. So pretty much everyone that's been with us since day one is still with us.
Awesome.
We were not happy, unfortunately.
That's an accomplishment, because even like in the restaurant and bar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We very fortunately did not have to like let anybody off with COVID or anything. We're very lucky that we were able to keep taking care of our people. But anyway, with the before times, I would usually be found at the Venice Tavern, which is the block from my house up in Mobtown, drinking Miller High Life ponies, the half bottles.
2 at a time? Yeah.
Usually 12 at a time, with Brad Poulin from Oliver's.
Oh, yeah.
Him.
Oh, yeah.
We, as soon as we got there, we do a pony race.
Oh, nice.
And Cole plays some pool.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper shots, sure.
Yeah.
Or, we were just in a friend's backyard alternating fancy beers from around the area with, Miller High Life, Modelo, Tecate, usually Pacifico. I usually go the more Mexican route.
Oh, man. So good.
I have 2 kids, so when I'm at home,
I'm single.
When I'm in the car, away from everyone.
I got 2 kids. When I'm at home, I'm drinking a LaCroix. And, or Mobtown beer. Although we have one of our, Allie, God bless her heart, moved to Pennsylvania, and she lives very close to Tired Hands, and so she does kind of bi-weekly orders for us, and so we're always getting Tired Hands beer.
It's been a blessing.
And it's great, but it's also terrible because we spend so much money there.
It's a very expensive hobby, I will say that.
Yes. So
come from Richmond and going to a whole bunch of other places.
But I'm a member of the Grunwald Club on Canton Square. And so when during normal times, football season, I'm there on Sundays drinking Natty Boh, and with my 2 kids, and they're running around.
Very simple life,
nice,
kind
simple,
of
yeah.
salty there, good people. That's awesome.
So.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We had a blast.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely, thank you.
Some belly busters and a couple different IPAs at the end, but a couple upcoming events. We are halfway to St. Patty's Day as of 2 weeks from today. So please join us for that. Much more to be named later, as well as the next Whale Lounge, which will be on the same day, 2 weeks from today. Some special guests up our sleeves, some great festivities going on with Guinness and Jameson and a whole bunch of other great friends of ours. Our Oktoberfest is back. It's not going to be inside. We are going to kind of make it a little bit smaller and more approachable, but we're going to have a great one between October 1st and 4th, which of course is right around the same time that Fells Point Festival would have been. So we hope you join for that. I'll be here all weekend personally, starting tomorrow. So tomorrow's essentially my Monday. I'll be here 12 to 10 the next 3 days. If you have any questions at all, please email me. Please follow and subscribe to Max's, at Beer Tender, at Humble Beer Society. If you feel so inclined, you're more than welcome to Venmo me at Tim-Christofield. Just like to throw that out there, but other than that,
Wait till we get
you gotta
to
support
our
it. There's a hobby that needs to be supported. So, well, thank you again, guys. I had a great time, and until next time, thank you all so much. Cheers.
Thanks.